Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Sakshi. Good evening, Pranjal.
Good evening, sir.
How are
How
you?
are you, sir?
I'm perfectly fine. How are you doing?
Doing fine, sir.
And what about you, Pranjal? How are you doing?
I'm also doing fine, sir. How about you?
I'm perfectly fine. Thank you for asking, Pranjal. So we'll carry on with today's topic. I can see a few more people who have joined in. All right. So as you can see on the screen, I've put a little picture. Well, that's our theme for the day. I can see Rajeshwari. Good evening, Rajeshwari. How are you doing?
Good evening, sir. I'm doing good. And how are you?
I'm perfectly fine. Thank you for asking. So today's topic is, I hope you remember. Do you remember? You've forgotten. What is today's topic?
Yes. Stress in life.
Oh God. This is like a keyword. You understand a keyword? A word which is prevalent, which is everywhere. So it's a keyword. So we're going to talk about stress in life. So yesterday we talked about some of the parameters, how stress impacts our lives and how we can manage it, we can control it. So we're going to listen to everyone's viewpoints. What do you think about stress? How does it really create a problem in our situation, in our lives, and how we can cope with it? So that is what we are going to delve into today's discussion. So, are you all ready for that? Did you all prepare your points for this debate on stress in life? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so without further ado, those who want to speak can raise their virtual hands. Go ahead. So I'll follow as per the
Good evening,
sequence.
sir.
Hey Manshi, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm perfectly fine. Thank you for asking. Deepti, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, sir. I'm doing great, sir.
Great, wonderful. You're not stressed, right? Deepti, you are not stressed. You're not stressed, no? Okay. Perfect. So I can see it's just Rajeshwari who has raised her hand. What about others? Please put your hands up so that I can ask you. Anyway, so we'll start with Rajeshwari and then we have Sakshi. So not a problem because we'll be asking questions to each other. And when we ask questions to each other, that time you will be raising your hands. I'll be allowing you to unmute yourself and then you will be asking questions to your fellow classmates. Okay, so we see this gentleman who is really stressed and let's see what we have to share on this topic. Chali, so we'll start today with Rajeshwari is going to share her viewpoints. So I'll just put the word stress in life. All right, over to you, Rajeshwari. Please carry on.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rajeshwari, and today I am talking about the topic stress in life. This is a very important topic. In today's fast, in today's fast-paced life, everyone has some stress. Some people have financial problems, some have work pressure, family responsibilities, overthinking, and so on. Because of this, they get stressed, which leads to health issues. It's important to take care about ourselves. Not taking stress is not possible in today's world, but can be reduced by taking some small steps. For example, time management, doing exercise, meditation, breathing exercise, etc. If we give priority to our life, then if we give priority to ourselves, then only we can make our family happy and give them good life. It's very important to take some break from regular day-to-day life and go on vacation with family. Spending time with loved ones help relieve stress. Sometimes accepting things you can't change also reduce stress. I also get stressed quickly, but I'm working on it and it's getting better. Whenever I get stressed, I go out with friends, listen music, watching some good movies. Uh, Going to new places makes me feel good. So we always go on family vacation. I also do yoga and some other exercises which help me a lot. Sometimes let go of things beyond your control also reduce stress. That's all from my side. Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you so much, Rajeshwari, for sharing your thoughts and your inputs on the topic stress in life. So I'll just quickly resume everything that Rajeshwari said. I think she covered largely everything. And again, something very interesting what she did was she spoke in a way. She was slow, she was clean, she was clear, she was very particular with her pronunciation as well. So I did not find any or maybe one word here and there. Largely, it was all good. So bravo for that, Rajeshwari. I see a huge shift in the way you are expressing yourself. So bravo for that.
Thank you, sir.
Great. And I think you really made a lot of effort. When you put it, you ensure that you have covered it in a way that gives a holistic approach to your content. It should not be one sided. It should give an image that you have talked about everything. You did mention that it is something which is inevitable. You cannot avoid stress. You have to have it. I mean, how hard you try not to have it, you'll end up having it. So it is inevitable. It is inevitable. Inevitable. It is inevitable. You cannot avoid it. ये unavoidable है, inevitable है ये, right? So I'll just quickly resume what Rajeshwari said. She says that it is an important topic because stress is found in each one's life today's time. And then she talks about fast-paced society. Today's society is a fast-paced, F-A-S-T, fast, and dash P-A-C-E-D, fast-paced. It is moving with a high speed. Everyone is facing some or the other kind of stress. It can be financial stress. It can be a family-related stress. It can be work pressure. It can be overthinking. She also talks about the fact people overthink a lot. Why did it happen to me? Why God has chosen me? Why am I the one? You know, these kind of thoughts they have, and that also creates some kind of pressure on them, and they get into stress. Then she talks about the fact that it leads to health issues. You start having health ailments, problems, diseases. They come and then they capture you, these health problems. She says we can't avoid it. we cannot eliminate it. You cannot eliminate it. You cannot remove it completely. But we can manage it. You can manage it. That's a good word, because these days we have to manage it. Why? We also manage a lot of things which we cannot control in a way which is totally removing them. We cannot remove emotions from our lives. We have to manage them. We cannot remove people from our life. We have to manage them. So when it comes to the close ones, family members, there are always some kind of situations wherein we are not okay with them, the way they think, the way we think. So we have to manage everything. So she says, in the similar fashion, we have to manage our stress. And how do we do that? You can move ahead with meditation, yoga, physical exercises is what you could do. She also talks about the fact that you have to give priority to your life, to yourself, to your body. You have to tell this body, this life, this is something very important for me. I should take care of it. It's an asset. It's a treasure. It's an asset. ये मेरे लिए एक asset है, एक धरोहर है, एक treasure है. मेरा धन है, मेरा खजाना है. ये नहीं बचेगा तो बचेगा क्या? So it's an asset for me. It's a treasure for me. I have to really take care of it. And then she says that you should take a break. You should go on vacations. You should because it helps in relieve करना है इसको ढीला छोड़ना, in relieving stress. It's very important. Then she says accepting things the way they are. It's a very important point. I'll ask you a little bit on that, Rajeshwari. Accepting things, what do you mean by that, and why is it important? So she says accepting things the way they are at times also helps us to release our stress, because we are not ready to accept. We don't say, no, I cannot accept it. I don't take it. I don't, I would not go this way. So that also creates a lot of stress. We'll talk about that with Rajeshwari as to what she wants to say when she says that we have to accept certain things because we cannot do anything about it. This is the way it is. So we'll delve more into it. She says when she also undergoes stress as everyone else, and she says she's working on it. And what she does is that whenever she's stressed, she goes out. She goes out of her place and from her house, and then she goes to visit new places. She also goes on family trips and vacations that soothes her, that gives her a lot of energy and peace and mental calmness. And something she says in the end is you have to let go of. You have to let go of. So we would like to listen from her. What does she mean by these two important things when she says we have to accept things and we have to let things go off? So if you can explain a little bit, Rajeshwari, what do you mean by we have to accept certain things? Why we have to accept, and why does not accepting it would create a lot of stress?
Sir, accepting things which we sometimes we don't have control in some situation.
Right.
So we have to accept as it is.
Okay.
And we have to work on our mental strength.
Right.
Other than the situation.
Absolutely. Some that's beautifully said. Sometimes we don't have a choice. We don't have any other option. This is how it is. I have to accept it. This is something that has come
Yeah.
my way. Now, instead of completely ruining it, completely giving up on it, it's better for me to manage my stress in a way that I have to accept it. Now, this is the problem. I have accepted it. Now I work on it. The problem is that people don't accept that there is some problem. There is something that's not correct. It's very tough. I can understand. Those who cannot accept, it means they have really lived in a different way. They have really worked on that parameter in a way that now they cannot accept it in its real sense. Excuse me. So when it comes their way, it's difficult for them to understand, oh, is it real? I don't accept it. So we have to take a deep breath and we have to tell ourselves that yes, it is the reality and I have to accept it. So once you have accepted it, the stress goes away because it is actually the fight that we are having with that acceptance, which we are not accepting. So that's true. And when you say, Rajeshwari, you have to let go of, what does that mean?
Let go of means it's the same. It's
Same,
just
yeah.
a little bit difference between accepting things and let go of.
Okay, how
That
can you
is
explain?
my
Yeah,
opinion.
that's true. That's true. So you're accepting, and what are you letting go of?
Sir, for example, if last since 2000 means last year I have a BP problem,
Okay.
so I accepted that.
Yes.
I'm working on it,
Right.
and I'm more into my exercise, yoga, and all these things.
Right.
And let go of means I'm not taking stress about
Uh-huh.
it.
Right. That's true. That's true. Absolutely. So it's a very interesting, I would say a condition, a situation wherein you have to accept certain things and you have to let go of certain things. How? The way she says. So we hope that you do well in your life and the BP comes back to normal and everything is good for you. But in general, if some,
COVID this happened.
yeah, please tell me.
After COVID, it happened.
It happened.
Otherwise, everything was good.
Was
Yeah.
good. Yeah. No, I understand. COVID was it was a tremendous change for everyone, and we underwent all sorts of pressures, physically, financially, in a social way as well. So that's true. That it was a lot of pressure for all of us. So when she talks about the fact of accepting and letting go of. So see, it's such a dichotomy. It's an oxymoron. Oxymoron is the in a situation wherein एक तरफ हम उसको accept कर रहे हैं और एक तरफ उसको let go off कर रहे हैं. So accept करना उस बात को. ये ऐसी ही बात है. There is no change to it now. I have to accept it. For example, let's say in Rajeshwari's case, if it is BP for that matter, or for anyone else, we again wish her all the best for her health. But if such is the situation, we have to accept it. We cannot run away from it. No, no, I'm not suffering from that. No, no, it doesn't happen to me. We have to accept it. So the moment you accept it, your stress comes down, because otherwise we are battling with it. No, it's not me, it's not me, it doesn't happen to me, I can never fall sick, I can never fall ill. No, it doesn't happen to me. Come on, you are lying to me. So we are creating so much of pressure on ourselves. And if we just accept it, yes, it is, I know I am not keeping well because of my blood pressure. Okay, now let go of. What all can I let go of? Why? What are the causes? I think too much, so I'll let go of that thing. Or maybe I do certain things which I was interested in. I have to let go of those things now. So you have to leave those things aside because they were troubling you. So you have to leave those things aside, and you have to accept certain realities. So that is true. That's how we move ahead in our lives. But it is absolutely difficult to accept the reality how it is, and to let things go off which you were clinging on, you were holding on, you were really on to those things for a long time. And now the time has come. Ab chodo, unko jaane do. Unko jaane do. If there are some people who have really created a mess in our lives, at times we have to say thank you. If there are situations that have created mess in our life, we have to say thank you to those situations. So we have to take those decisions in a mature way. In a way, as you rightly mentioned, you have to take care of your life, your mental health, your physical health, because your health would impact your family's health and family's well-being as well. So that's true. Okay, great, Rajeshwari, wonderful. Anyone who has the question for Rajeshwari? No, no one. Oh, I see. Arna, do you have a question for Rajeshwari, ma'am? Is it? No, no. Oh, by chance you raised your hand. Okay, Chale, not a problem. So I think we got to learn a lot here with how to manage your stress. So I think we can pick up things from the way everyone is going to share their experiences. with their maturity, with their experience of life. So I'm sure we can pick up things from them as well. All right. Thank you, Rajeshwari. We'll move ahead with the. Thank you. We'll move ahead with Sakshi. Yes, Yarna.
Are we doing the debate?
Absolutely. We are doing that one. Are you left with something?
No, I just wanted to speak about the topic.
Okay, so you be in the queue, we'll ask you to speak, right? All right, so we move ahead with Sakshi. Let's see how youngsters have this difficulty of managing stress, or I don't know if at all they have stress or not. So we'll check it from Sakshi. But before that, I'll just quickly greet Rubina. Good evening, Rubina. How are you doing?
Good evening, sir. I'm fine, sir.
You're fine? Great. We just heard Rajeshwari share her experience on stress in life and how do you combat it? How do you fight, the stress?
Okay, sir.
So we'll also look forward to listening your share of stress management. I'm sorry, stress management. So we'll see it from your side. So, but before that,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So we have Sakshi in line. Yeah, Sakshi, over to you.
Yeah, good evening everyone. My name is Sakshi and today's topic is stress in life. So I will tell about it.
Yes.
Stress is a natural human response to challenges and threats in life. I can be a feeling mental tension or worry that can affect both the mind and body. Stress can be caused by many things, including stress can be short term in short bursts. Stress can be positive and help you avoid danger or meet a deadline. However, when stress loads for a long time, it can be harm your health or kill if stress in activities like their financial condition in someone like family problem in someone life or there is some stress in everyone divorce relationship etc and some problems there is some problems in everyone personal life. This is the reason why a person goes through into depression or starts thinking too much the he cannot move his life. One should never take too much stress in life, or I feel that whenever there is stress, one should trust on God, or one should watch some motivational videos like Premanand Maharaj, who tells us that there is a situation to every problem in life. No one should live in depression. No one should always be happy. One should think positively. Everything will be fine, and we should do hard work. Thank you for listening.
All right, wonderful. We should do hard work. Very interesting, Sakshi. We all have to do hard work because hard work is the only thing that we have in our hands, and rest everything is dependent on our destiny. But hard work is something that we all can do, and it would take us to a beautiful journey for us, and that's called life. So I think that's interesting what you said. I'll just quickly resume what Sakshi says. She says that it is a natural response. She has tried to define what stress is. So I think it's an interesting definition. She says it's a natural response to challenges. When we are facing challenges, it's a response that we have from our body. It can be a physical response, it can be a mental response. And that kind of a response is called stress. She says that it is a feeling of tension and worry, and it can impact our mind and body both at the same time. She also talks about the fact that it lasts for short term, it can even last for a long term. So you have to manage and you have to see it should not stay for a long time with you, because if it does stay for a long time, then it impacts you negatively. She talks about positive and negative stress. I'll ask Sakshi afterwards what is positive stress, because everyone says, excuse me, stress is not good. It's not good. It ruins your body. It ruins your energy. It ruins your whole personality. How can stress be positive? So that we will check, and others will also answer that question if at all you know the response. But we'll ask this question to Sakshi. But before that, I'll just quickly resume what she says. She says it can be harmful if it stays for a long time in our body, in our mind as well. She says there are many situations like financial conditions, family conditions. People cannot manage their relationships among men and women, their families, their married lives, and they would end up, getting divorced. And then they have relationship issues. They also have problems related to personal life, overthinking, and that all leads to depression. They fall prey to depression. They get into a lot of health issues, and so she says that one should not take too much of stress, and one should always believe in God, that there is some extreme, almighty, some ultimate, some supreme power that is there to manage us. We have to just work hard. That's what she says in the end. And rest, everything should be, you know, left to God or to that almighty, that ultimate power that's going to guide us and help us. She says that one should watch motivational videos, and she mentions that for Premanand Ji Maharaj, that you could watch their videos as well. That would help you to strengthen your understanding about life and how you can stay stress free. She also says that we should not take too much of stress, and no one should spend a lot of time under stress, but one should always come out of it in a way which is thinking positively. So you always have to think positively. All right, something has happened, now how should I get out of it? That's more important, rather than pondering upon the fact, oh, why did I do this, why God chose me, why did it happen to me, why am I the only one on this planet Earth who is suffering the most. So that kind of a kind of an attitude always keeps us in that stress. But to come out of it, it's important that we think positively. And in the end, she says, which is very right, that we have to work very hard. Absolutely. The way you are working very hard in these English classes, it's going to help you to come out of not only stress, because it energizes you, it gives you new thoughts, you get to meet so many people, you get to listen to so many people's ideas. So that helps you to come out of stress perhaps, but also out of any kind of tension that we might have otherwise. All right, great. Thank you, Sakshi. So, Sakshi, the question for you is, what do you mean by positive stress? That's very interesting. What is that, Sakshi? Positive stress.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Normal and healthy response to challenge that can help you grow and develop.
Mm. So, you want to say that it's a response to a challenge that is positive and helps you develop yourself. That's true.
Yeah.
So, some kind of pressure, some kind of stress is required, a little bit. But if you're totally carefree and careless, you might end up making mistakes. So, what she says is that a little bit of stress is important, because that gives you seriousness. It gives you some responsibility towards that task. For example, you might say, oh, stress पे बोलना है, बोल देंगे, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. That is one of the approaches. और अच्छा सर ने कहा है stress पे बोलना है, थोड़ा सा तो मैं देख लेती हूँ, थोड़ा सा तो स्ट्रेस लेती हूँ, थोड़ा देख लेती हूँ इंटरनेट पे भी, सर के डॉक्यूमेंट्स में भी, और अपने आप से भी पूछती हूँ क्या क्या हो सकता है. So that kind of an approach wherein you take a little bit of stress, a little bit of responsibility towards preparing something, so that you do it in a sincere way and you are sure about it and you're responsible about your actions. So that is true. Perfect, Sakshi. Anyone else would like to add on what positive stress is, or if you have felt this stress in yourself, and does it help you anyhow? Anyone? If you have this experience of positive stress? No? None? Okay. Any questions for Sakshi from anyone's side? Puche, Sakshi say. No? All right. Sakshi, what about your personal experience? I mean, have you ever had this feeling of, getting stressed because of certain things in your life? Studies or job, because you were working previously?
Yeah, I take stress and I take stress a lot and
Oh,
think alone.
all right.
Then I watch motivational videos
Right.
and accepted situations, and I do work hard.
True, true. That's important. Absolutely. I think, but you cannot avoid it, but you can manage it. That's what you do. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Deepti, did you have a question for Sakshi? I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please, Deepti, ask her.
Hello, Shakshi. Hello, Deepti. How are you? Fine. I have one question for you. How often do you feel stressed?
Oh,
Uh, it's exams.
okay.
Yeah.
So the frequency, how often do you feel stressed? What is the frequency, Sakshi? Is it like just during the exams and not otherwise?
No, it's
No?
just exam stress.
Okay, there's just exam stress, no other stress. Otherwise, she manages
No,
well. Okay. Okay, you don't have any stress for this class, I hope.
no,
No,
sir.
not at all. Is anyone who's stressed? Because, oh, we got.
When
Yeah, tell me.
mm, I stress, then I do work hard and preparation and uh,
Okay, I got it. So you know how to cope with that situation, and you have to you manage when you're really stressed out. Okay, perfect. All right, moving ahead. Let's see who is there in the line. Arna, you'd like to say something? Arna, over to you. Badai, Arna. Oh, you're such a young person. Let's see what kind of stress stresses you.
stress in life can also go to health risk. Mental health decline reduces productivity, relationship, pain, unhealthy coping mechanisms, impaired decision making, economic costs, quality of life reduction, sleep deprivation, ineffective coping strategies, and many more. Stress is linked to numerous health issues, including heart disease, diabetes, and weakened immune function.
Yes, yes, totally. I'm just writing your points. Yeah, please carry on.
Stress is bad, contributes reducing focus, creativity, and overall productivity in work and negative effect in interpersonal relationships, leading to conflict and reduced social support. Individuals under stress may resort to unhealthy behavior such as substance abuse, overeating, or withdrawal. Without judgment and decision-making abilities leading to poor choices. The impact of stress on health and productivity can lead to significant economic costs for individuals and organizations. Damages overall life satisfaction, enjoyment, impacting personal health, often leads to these disorders which can further aggravate issues and cause decline, leading to overthinking. Many stress management techniques are researched, or infected, leaving individuals without proper tools to cope. These points highlight our multifaceted negative impact of stress on individuals and society. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Arna. I think you, at such a young age, you spoke largely about the parameters that impact people's health because of stress in their lives. So she talks about the fact that it's a health risk. It can also be impacting your mental health. There are a lot of reasons. She talks about the economic reasons, and then she talks about the fact that it reduces the quality of life. The quality of life that you lead is not the same when you are really stressed out. She talks about the fact that they have poor coping strategies. Those who are going through stress, they cannot cope with it, and they end up creating a lot of problems for them. There is immunity functioning that is not proper. The overall productivity falls, and people can even lead to overeating because they don't know what they're doing. They're not in their good state of mind. They overeat at times, and it also is possible that they would withdraw from a lot of activities. There's a poor decision making. That's very interesting because they cannot take decisions properly, and they are mentally absent at times. And then there are other reasons like economic reasons, financial reasons, family reasons. She also mentioned about the fact that companies are also there where people work and they are stressed out at times. And so enjoyment and happiness is something that comes as a savior. It's a key word that's very important for us to stay out of stress. And she also talks about the fact that we it can also lead to a lot of issues if we continue in the state wherein we are totally stressed out. She talks about SMT, which is stress management techniques, because these are some of the techniques that people employ for themselves and for people around them to help people reduce their stress levels. Perfect. Do you know any such activities, Arna, wherein people can enjoy and they can reduce their stress? Any such activity, Arna?
So probably meditation.
Meditation.
Other-
Oh, very good. Meditation. That, yeah, absolutely. Meditation, yoga. And there's something called laughter yoga. People just keep on laughing, laughing, and laughing, and they would actually burst their stress that way. Do you practice that? Anyone who knows about laughter yoga or laughter technique of stress buster? You do?
I know, sir.
You know?
Laughter yoga.
Okay.
I have seen in Mumbai.
Okay, you've seen it in Mumbai. That how people they would just burst out of laughter and they would actually reduce their stress levels. True.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And were you a part of it at some point of time, Rajeshwari?
No.
No?
But with friends we do this.
You do that? In your, okay, great.
With,
And
with our friend, not exactly the laughter yoga, but when we are talking,
together,
we
yeah.
just laugh.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. And I think it is contagious. It's contagious. It's
Yeah.
contagious. What does that mean? It's contagious. When one starts to laugh, other person laughs, and the third one laughs, and everyone starts to laugh. So it is really contagious. It's infectious. It's infectious. It's infectious. Right? एक से दूसरे तक पहुंच जाता है. Perfect. Great. Thank you, Arna. And Arna, you in your such a young age, are you stressed out at times?
Just like Sakshi said,
Yeah.
probably now.
My goodness, these exams are going to be horrible for all of us. Okay, but then how do you cope with it when you're really stressed? What do? You do overeat? Do you go out? You take a walk? What do you do?
I just like hang out with my friends and all.
You hang out with your friends. Yeah, during the exam time.
No, so probably I go every Saturday.
Okay, so that's how you manage your stress levels. Okay, great. Any questions for Arna from anyone's side? Anyone would like to ask her? No? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Arna. Who is next? Either you raise your hand or I'll take your name. You want me to take your name? Is there anyone who wants to say? Oh, there's someone who has raised. That's Manshi. Yeah, Manshi, over to you.
Evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Stress is something that affects many people each and every day. Life is full of hassle, decline, frustration, and demand. For some people, stress is so common it is a way of life. Stress can be very harmful and or helpful. It could help motivate you to meet a deadline and perform a task under pressure. Stress can also be very harmful, such as memory problems, mood, moodiness, ages and pain, and eating more or less. Stress has many different symptoms. The most often and most common is having a headache on your body. The effects of stress are muscle tension of or pain, chest pain and chest pain. The effects of stress can include mood and anxiety, laziness, and lack of motivation or focus.
All right. Okay, perfect. So she talked about the fact that there can be a lot of health impacts if you let stress impact you. So that's true, Manshi. I think you have very interestingly talked about the negative aspects of stress on our health. So she talks about the fact that it is something that is there. I mean, how hard you try, the way Rajeshwari said, how hard you try to push it away, it'll come back. How do you manage it? How do you cope with it? That's more important. So life is at times full of frustration. We're really frustrated. What am I supposed to do? How can I do it in a better way? What should I do? So there's a lot of frustration that is across us. Then she talks about the fact that it can be harmful largely. It can be helpful when in right amounts, but otherwise it is largely harmful. It can be harmful when it can lead to memory problems. You don't remember anything anymore. You don't recall anything anymore. So you have these kind of health issues. So then you have eating disorders. There are also a lot of tensions that we have, and there's a lot of, at times people suffer with chest pain. They feel some kind of chest pain, their muscles start to pain, and also they have mood swings, they have anxiety, and they are not motivated at all to do anything. They are all, every time they're depressed, they're under pressure, they don't feel like going out, they want to stay inside, they don't want to do anything new, they don't want to hang out with friends, and they would just munch on things, and they would eat, and they would just want to stay aloof with, in comparison to the other people. So I think that's how they get into a situation which is which will make their situation even worse than the previous one. So I think that's a we call it like a vicious circle that they get into it, and then they would end up really putting themselves in a lot of trouble. So I think that's true what you mentioned, Manshi, that with these kind of health impacts are there, and the sooner the better. The sooner we try to combat it, the sooner we try to cope with it, the better it is for our health. So Manshi, personally, how do you cope with stress? What do you do?
like yoga, meditation.
Okay. And what kind of stress do you have? You seem to be a young person. You have stress of which sort? Of studies, of job? You want to look for a job? Yeah. Studies? Studies. And why so? You want to top everywhere? Is it? You want to be number one?
Yes, sir.
Oh, is that so? I hope these English classes are not adding to your already existing stress. Do they?
No, sir.
They do not. Okay, great. I'm happy to know that. Otherwise, it would be a very paradoxical situation that we are trying to cope with stress, and these classes add on to your stress. So that will be very amazing for me then. All right. Any questions for Manshi? Anyone who'd like to ask her something? Anyone? Anyone? Quickly. Come on, ask questions. That's a technique to get to know more about people. Oh, Arna has a question. Finally, Arna.
What do you do when you get stressed?
Okay. Manshi, what do you do when you are stressed?
Sorry, Sunita.
Could you repeat, Arna?
What do you do when you're stressed?
Is that clear, Manshi, the question?
Yoga and meditation.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So Manshi, she does yoga, or she would meditate to kind of get away from her stress. Perfect. Great. All right. Thank you, Manshi, for your contribution. Okay. Now we'll move ahead. Let's see whom do we have. All right. So next we have Deepti. Yes, Deepti. Right. Deepti, over to you. You'll have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Today talk about what is stress.
Yeah.
Stress is a feeling you get when things are too much to handle. It can make you feel upset, tired. Stress is normal, but too much can make you feel unwell. Causes of stress: work pressure, pressure, deadlines, heavy work loads, or difficult tasks can cause of stress. Personal relationship, arguments, family problems, breakups can create emotional stress. And health issues, dealing with illness is stressful. And money problems, financial difficulties are cause of stress. And how
True.
to manage stress. Uh, Exercise, physical activity, relax tension and improve mood. Talk to someone. Sharing your feelings with friends, family, counselors can stress lighten. Time management, organizing tasks and taking breaks can be stress free. Overall, stress is a part of life. With the right strategy,
Strategies. Yeah, that's correct.
strategy manage can be managed to maintain healthy balance.
All right. Is that so?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Deepthi, for your inputs. I think the moment you started your debate, your points, it set the context that it's a feeling when things are too much to handle. When you really cannot handle, it starts to put pressure, and that's the stress that we get. And exactly, you have picturized it as if we are a container, and people try to put in a lot of things inside, but we are not able to handle anymore. It would just burst, and that kind of mismanagement or not being able to handle causes and creates a lot of stress. And I want to say something. Oh, we haven't yet finished. So, so this is something that is difficult for us to handle, and it makes us upset, it makes us tired, it also makes us in a state wherein we are unwell. We don't keep well. Every time we are gazing, and we don't know if it's right or wrong. We are mentally absent, and we are not in the, we are physically there, but mentally we are absent. So that's true. She also talks about the causes that would create this stress. She talks about the fact that there's a lot of work pressure. People have to meet deadlines. You have to do this by this evening. You have to do this by this weekend. So people have a lot of pressure because they cannot manage their personal life and their professional life, and then they end up being stressed out. She also talks about the fact that there's a lot of load, a lot of work pressure. Please do it, complete this and that, and everything coming on their way. Then she says that it also impacts stress, or people get stress from personal relationships. They can also enter into a lot of arguments. Why this and why not that? And why did you do that? Who told you to do this? And people are responding in a similar energy, and that heats up the whole environment. I think how you respond to people is also important so that you can reduce your stress levels and other people's stress levels as well. So we'll talk about this a little bit with Deepthi and everyone else. How do arguments they play a role in managing stress or increasing stress? She talks about breakups and how people get separation, so that also impacts their state of well-being, that increases their stress. She says about the health issues. There are people who are dealing with money, they have problems, financial issues are there, they have financial difficulties. She talks about there should be some management for stress, and it can be done through physical exercises. You can move ahead with some kind of relaxation techniques wherein you reduce your tensions, and you can talk to someone. That's very important, talking to someone. I think this is a very important point, talking to someone. It's so simple, but it's so hard because we don't find people to talk to pour our heart out. That's again a difficult task for us. We'll delve into this as well. I'd like to ask people how talking to someone reduces our stress. And then time management is very important. We have to be stress free. Overall stress is there, it's okay. I mean, there should be some kind of stress, but it has to be managed well, and it's a part of people's life. But certain strategies can always be dashed in, can be integrated, can be incorporated in our lifestyle so that we live a balanced life. Is that so, Deepthi?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So before even taking Arna's point or question, I'd like to ask you, Deepthi, you talked about the fact that at times we move into arguments, right? Heated arguments. How do you see that heated arguments, they increase stress levels among people, and how can we manage them? Yeah, Deepthi? How do arguments, they increase stress?
Family problems.
Hmm. I mean, if I argue with you, will that increase stress?
Yes, sir.
How? How does that impact? The moment I start to argue with you, you will argue back to me, and there will be a little war, a little conflict, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And we will try to put our points in front. I would put my point forth. You would say, no, that's not correct. You would put your point forth to me. Then I would succeed it. I would say, no, mine is better. You would say, yours is better. And that's how it will be an unending war. And that would actually increase our stress level and our tension level as well. So that's true. When you say we need to talk to someone, Deepti, how does that help? When we have someone to talk to, does it drop our stress levels, and how?
Yes, sir. Talk to someone is stress level down.
It brings the stress
हाँ.
levels down. आपको थोड़े से words डालने पड़ेंगे. When we talk to someone, it brings our stress levels down. How does it bring the stress levels down? Why, Deepti? Because in our heart, do we have a lot of stress? In our mind, do we have a lot of stress? We want to just release ourselves. Is that so?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. थोड़ा सा उसको डेवलप कीजिए इस बात को, थोड़ा सा और इलाबरेट कीजिए कि कैसे हम जब किसी से बात करते हैं तो हमारा स्ट्रेस लेवल घटता है और हमें अच्छा लगता है. So when we talk to someone, repeat, when we talk to someone,
When we talk to someone,
right, we share
share
our emotions,
our emotions,
our problems,
our problems,
our concerns
our concerns
with the other person,
with the person.
and while doing this,
While doing this,
we reduce
reduce
our
our
baggage, our baggage of stress. हमारा जो बोझा है स्ट्रेस का उसको हम रिड्यूस करते हैं. बैगेज, BAGGAG, एग्जैक्टली बैगेज. अब देखिए मैंने कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं कहा जो आपको नहीं पता था. आपको छोटे छोटे वाक्य बना के बोलना पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज आप हमेशा चंक्स में बात करेंगे, you know it, and you would miss out on the linking words. So linking words are very important, otherwise you would be like stress, like talking to someone controls stress. So you know you'll have to bring in, yeah. Is that okay, Deepti? Fine, right? Okay. Chale, great. Arna has a question for you, Deepti. Let's see what she is going to ask you. Arna.
who are some people that you talk to for stress?
Once again, Arna, who are the people?
Yeah, you talk to for stress.
Did you get? Was the question clear to you, Deepti?
Repeat again.
Okay. Arna, you'll have to reformulate your question again, right? Do it cleanly, clearly, in one go, and so that it reaches to Deepti. Carry on. Once again, Arna. Try.
Who are the people that you talk to for stress?
Right.
किससे मैं बात करती हूँ स्ट्रेस में?
Exactly. Who are the people that you talk to when you are stressed out?
My sister-in-law.
Okay.
Shakti Devi.
Oh, okay. Great. So she's always there to help you?
Yes, sir, बिल्कुल sure.
Oh, great.
हमेशा any problem I talk to him.
Talk to her. I talk to her, yes. Oh, absolutely.
And she gave me best opinion.
Wow, she gives me the best opinions. Wonderful, I think. Yeah. But that, yeah, true.
Work
It works. It works. काम करता है वो.
yes, sir.
It works. And whatever she suggests me, it works for me. Oh, great. Oh, absolutely. She's someone who is an expert in her domain, and of course, otherwise as well, she is a charming person with a beautiful personality. Yes, she's a counselor, she's a psychologist, and she knows how to help people in a way that they could manage their emotions and their stresses as well. That's true. Great,
Everyone can, मतलब family के every member can talk with her.
Talk to her. Yeah, everybody, yeah, every member, every person from the family can talk to her easily. Yeah, that's true. Right, that's true. Absolutely right. So she's approachable. She's approachable. बहुत approachable है. She is very adjusting, and everyone can go and talk to her. So that's also true that we should have people around us. So going back to Arna's question, Arna, we have to find people in our entourage. Entourage का मतलब होता है हमारे आजू बाजू में. Entourage. We have to find people in our entourage who are there to help us, to guide us, to suggest us, and they know us as well. हर एरे गैरे से हम जानकारी ले नहीं सकते. We have to go to people who know us, so that they give us the right suggestions, right advices. That's true. Okay, wonderful, Deepthi. Okay, moving ahead. Pranjal, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are really intrigued and curious to know what can stress Pranjal. Of course, we saw for Arna it was studies, and for Manshi it was studies, and for Sakshi it was studies. I don't know if it's going to be the same for you, or is it going to be your handball team participants who put a lot of stress on you? Is it? Do they?
Yes.
Yeah, at times you have to really manage them. You be a part of this team. You don't do this and you don't do that and you do this and that, and they create a lot of pressure on you. We'll listen to you now. Okay, over to you, Pranchal.
Good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to speak on the topic stress in life.
Hmm.
Nowadays, stress is a common problem for life. In this, it did not give any specific reaction. I suppose there are three main causes of stress in a society today: money, unsuccessful relationship, and tax. Life. People have to work hard for dough to done to earn money. Besides, there are a lot of things they have to pay this month, such as utility bills, internet bill, fees, etc. This makes the extremely stressful and exhausting of the which adversely affect their health. The second reason is the unsuccessful relationship. In life, people do not always have successful relationship. The stress could be between family, friends, or colleagues. For example, if any not or these children will or in a relationship, if there is an argument both between will feel but very stressed. Stress are the third cause of stress. People who are stressed for this reason are usually students. When the exam comes, they have take good mark knowledge. Better score or each exam not only given stress but also negatively affects their health. There are three main causes of stress in life that most people encounter are money, unsuccessful relationship, and exam. However, getting rid of stress is not easy. Instead of feeling worried about those things, people should think more positively and happily. This is said to be an effective way to reduce stress and lead a happy life.
All right. Thank you so much, Pranjal, for dashing in your points about stress. What are the causes and how we can cope with this?
You are muted.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so thank you so much, Pranjal, for sharing your points regarding stress. You very interestingly put all the 3 points which are related to the causes. You talk about money being one of the causes, then you talk about the unsuccessful relationships in the society, and the third one is the fact that exams, they are also one of the reasons that would create a lot of stress on people who have to write their exams. Okay, so if you look at these points, we would find that you talk about the fact that these days stress is something that is a common problem and everyone faces it. You also talk about the fact that people have to work very hard, and when they work very hard, they have to actually work from dawn to dusk, from morning till late hours in the evening. And then you also talk about the fact that they have to pay bills, and for this, they have to take up any kind of work, and that would create a lot of pressure on them. So, making money is an important task of our existence, but it does create a lot of pressure on us. You also talk about the fact that unsuccessful relationships among family members, among friends, also for that matter, in terms of love and affection that we give and take, that also leads to a lot of arguments. And if we are not able to manage our arguments well, then it leads to stress for us. You also talk about the fact that tests, exams, they are a huge source of stress. I can understand it for students, but even at every point of life, we have an exam. Learning English is an exam. Talking to someone in English is an exam. Responding to someone in English is an exam. So I think everywhere we are faced with these kinds of challenges, and they are an exam for us. So how do you cope with that? That's very important. For students, it can be getting good marks in exams. She talks about the fact that you cannot completely get rid of it, but you can manage it. And what you could do is that you can think positively so that you have a positive approach towards life, and then you manage your stress. Okay, great, Pranjal. Thank you so much for your inputs. Among these three, I hope that yours is this one, the course exams. Pranjal, is that so?
Yes, sir.
So how do you cope with it when you are stressed out during your exam time? What do you do to keep yourself calm, cool, and relaxed? Yeah, Pranjal, what do you do?
So sometimes I listen music or talk with my mother about how was my day or
Right.
how I have to learn for the exams. She helps me a lot, and that is the best thing for me.
Right.
And sometimes I talk with my friends, or we go for a walk or playing for sometimes.
True.
That's all.
Okay, wonderful. Absolutely. I think you have your ways in which you can manage your stress and you can keep your mood in shape and totally happy. I think that way it really helps you. Okay, I think Arna, you want to ask her a question? Is that so? Yeah, be loud and clear, right? Be closer to the microphone so that we get your question in one go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What causes your stress?
Or you'll have to reframe your question. Say it again.
What causes your stress?
What is the cause of your stress? Is that so? Okay, I think she did mention it. See, now that's very important. When someone has already answered something, we would not repeat that thing. That shows that we as listener were not conscious and careful. So please ensure, as when there is a debate going on and people are talking to each other, we have to be active listeners at the same time. We cannot ask all sorts of questions just because we want to ask. We also have to be vigilant enough. Did she also talk about this fact already? If she hasn't, then I would ask a question. So not a problem this time, Arna, but it's for everyone that it's not just we are speakers, we're also good listeners. And a good listener is the one who knows, oh, she has already responded to that question. So have you already responded to that question, Pranjal? What is your cause of stress?
Yes.
Okay, you're not able to hear her. Okay. Anyways, there was a network issue. All right, all right. But anyway, yeah. So she couldn't catch. So you could always say perhaps. So in such a situation, how do you frame your question? I'll tell you. Because it might be that at your end you had a network glitch and you couldn't hear. So how do you put it across? You would say, I think Pranjal, you might have already spoken about the reasons for your stress, but there was some technical issue at my end. I couldn't catch hold of your this part. Could you would you mind telling about your stress as a personal reason? Then she would talk about that, right? So it's a way out. So the other person would not feel awkward, but I've already spoken about it. Why do you want to ask again? So you can always put these things this way: that the voice was not clear. It was it was there was some technical problem, this and that. All right. So she experienced a technical problem. Pranjal, Arna had a technical problem. So could you just repeat the reason of your stress?
That's exams.
Exams.
Obviously for all the students.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. You don't have any stress and tension to go to work, to earn money, or to be worried about the relationships. You're like totally enjoying your life and you're just worried about the exams and to study. So that's true. That's true. Absolutely. Anything else, Arna? Is that okay? Thank you. Great. Okay. Anyone else who'd like to ask Pranjal any question? Anyone? I think such a wonderful life students have, but they know their pressures. We might think from an elder perspective, oh, they don't have any tension. Arna doesn't have any tension. Pranjal is so relaxed, and so is Sakshi and Manshi. But those who are into that boat, they know how difficult it is to sail through. So I can understand that everyone has their share of stress, which they have to cope with. Okay, great. Moving ahead, I can see Sarita. Over to you, Sarita.
Hello everyone.
Yeah. Carry on. Hello.
This topic is stress in your life.
Yeah.
Stress is the natural reaction your body has when change or challenging occur. It can result in many different physical, emotional, and behavior responses. It can come from any event or thought that make you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. Stress is your body's reaction to a challenging or demand. In short, bursts, stress can be positive, such as when it helps you avoid danger or meet a deadline. But when stress lasts for a long time, it might harm your health.
All right. So,
There are two types of stress,
yes.
good and bad.
Hmm.
Positive stress occurs when we are very happy or very excited and when it comes to going somewhere on vacation, we get positive stress. Positive stress give us courage to move forward, work harder and achieve our goals. And negative stress has very bad effect on the human body. Stress is sur- survival in stress or response when the body thinks that it is in danger. Due to excessive stress, a person is unable to do anything else, unable to pay full attention to his work due to excessive stress. Even the work done gets spoiled. Stress effect our mind as well as our work. To reduce stress, one should the morning walk and do yoga every day. To reduce stress, your work should be divided into different periods. Take time out for yourself and go out somewhere. Whatever stress you might have, sit and discuss it with your family and friends. Thank you.
All right, perfect, Sarita. You beautifully wrapped it up by saying whenever you are into stress, sit and discuss it with your family members. I think that will make a lot of sense. The way Deepti said that there should be someone to talk to. And if it's a family member, what better can you ask for? Because they know you well and they would always suggest and guide you in the right direction. Absolutely. All right, so just quickly summing up what Sarita said, she says that it is a natural reaction because there is an action of stress, there's an action from outside, and you would give back something, and that is a natural reaction. That's the stress. It happens when there's a change or a challenging situation. It's a commotion of emotions, and a lot of responses are there. She says that it can come from any event that makes you feel uncomfortable, comfortable, nervous, strained, stressed. There are a lot of dangers that we face in our lives. It can be real dangers, physical dangers, mental dangers, social dangers, all sorts of dangers can be felt. And also, she talks about the fact that there are deadlines that you have to meet and you have to do your work. That also creates a lot of pressure on us, that in turn leads to stress. She says that there are two kinds of stress: positive stress and negative stress. I think Sakshi also spoke about it. So she did touch the fact that there is something called positive as well. So she says that when you're excited to go somewhere, you are into some kind of stress. When someone asks you, oh, you have to sing a song, or like we're a little nervous, we're anxious, and there are butterflies in our stomach, and we're like, what am I going to do? So that kind of stress can be considered as positive. It doesn't deplete your health condition. So you're going somewhere, you're excited, and that excitement is some kind of stress. Or will it be all fine? I'm not too sure, but I'm excited. It's not really bothering me and impacting me in a negative way, but it is positive. So that's called positive stress. We want to go on vacations, we want to explore a new city, and it helps us in moving forward. But when you talk about negative stress, it is something that puts you in a lot of difficulties, because it would put a pressure on your body that there is some change going on. And at times it also is found that you have at the workplace, you are under pressure. When you are under pressure, it creates a lot of stress for you. She also talks about the fact that at times pressure or the stress that we have, it helps us in not letting our work get spoiled. How? Because a minimal amount of stress is required so that you are focused, you are attentive, you know what work you are doing. And in this way, you really pay a lot of attention to whatever you are doing. And that minimal stress is required, but not too much. And then she in the end says that you can always go for a walk, you can always have a talk, and then you could do yoga, you could divide your day in different paths wherein you can interact with people, have a lot of hobbies and activities. And last but no way least, you should always delve into conversations and discussions and dialogues with your family members. They're there for you and you're there for them. So that kind of a bonding is important for our existence, to remove stress and to have a joyful and happy life. Great, Sarita, wonderful. So Sarita, for you, tell us what stresses you. Yeah, Sarita, what stresses you? Yeah, Sarita, could you respond to that question, please? Yeah, Sarita. Can you hear me, Sarita? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please tell us. What are the things that put you in a lot of stress?
No, sir, I don't feel stressed.
Oh, you don't feel stressed. How is it possible? Because everyone said that, you yourself said it's a natural reaction, it's a change, and it's a challenging situation. So when you are dealing with your clients, Sarita, because you're a beautician, we know it, and when you have a lot of clients and then they create a lot of pressure on you, please help us right now, do this for us right now. How do you manage it?
Sir, I live among beautiful people. That's why I never feel stressed.
Okay. Okay. So you make people look beautiful. So you yourself, you have to ensure that you are not into stress. Is it?
Yes, yes, sir.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's interesting what she says, because if you are stressed out, you cannot deliver your right capacity, your right competence, and that actually we lose the purpose of doing everything. So that's true. Great. But then, of course, how have you ever experienced positive stress? Any example of positive stress in your life, Sarita? Any positive stress that you have had? Anything? When you are going to meet a new client, perhaps, and you do have this anxiety that how this client is going to be? Am I going to be able to fulfill whatever she asks me? Do you have that kind of a positive stress, Sarita?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Any questions for Sarita? Anyone? Yeah, Arna, you would like to say something? Tell us.
I'm not able to peaceful.
Sorry?
I'm not able to peaceful.
You'll have to check that. I'm sorry, I cannot help you in that. But please ensure that you don't mute me, because you mute me. So Arnab, I would request you not to do that, because when you do it, you mute me every time. So please, I would request you not to do that.
I
No,
don't know, but
no, just leave it the way it is. Let's not disturb it. Let's leave it the way it is, right? Okay, let's carry on. Yeah, please ensure that. Okay, we'll move ahead. And that gets me into stress when I'm not able to convey what I want to say and I'm on mute. So maybe I feel like, what am I doing? Am I not able to pass on what I'm trying to say? Anyway, So any questions for Sarita? Rubina, do you have a question for Sarita? Rubina, any question?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
No, sir. I want to be the next speaker.
You want to be the next speaker or the last speaker, because I don't see anyone after you, so you are going to be the last speaker. So I'll just look at the time thing left with us. Yeah, I think yeah we have exact time what is needed for us. Okay, so we have this one, stress in life, and we all know by now that Rubina is a researcher. She's doing her PhD, and we can really understand how she juggles between a lot of things at the same time. So we look forward to your personal story as well, Rubina, your personal life, and then your PhD coming your way, and then English classes, and a lot of things. How do you manage them, and how do you strike a balance? So we look forward to that as well in our story.
I want to add a layer to your whatever you say. I
Yeah,
want to
add,
the
yeah, please.
most stressful person in your class now.
Who?
Me.
No, no, no. Of course not.
Most stressful.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh God. Ah, you're the most stressed person.
Exactly. sir.
My
So,
God. Oh no.
stress
Yeah, let's start. Okay, let's see. And we would try to help you because there are a lot many people. We have Rajeshwari, Deepthi, and Sarita and Arna and Sakshi and Manshi and Pranjal. We all are going to help you in some or the other way with our little experience as to what we can bring on table for you so that it can help you to reduce your stress levels. Let's see. Over to you, Rubina.
probably ask the most questions from Rubina.
Okay, so she's going to ask a lot of questions to you, Rubina.
Most welcome, Anna. Most welcome.
Chaliye. All right.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Stress acts as an accelerator. It will push you either forward or backward, but it's our choice only which direction we want to go. With this quote, I want to share with all of you some mind reflection about stress.
Yeah.
Uh, so I feel stress very frequently. Even I feel stress very frequently. Even I can say I wake up with the stress and I go to the bed with stress. So even I feel stressful now also. So so but it is the natural. So I feel that it's my natural reaction or it's a part of my daily routine. I feel stress frequently because when I will not manage my daily routine with my goal, I feel stress when uh, when the work is not according with my thinking. I feel stress because of other action also, because of my co-scholar, because of my supervisor, because of my department. Sometimes I feel stress because of my family also. And
Right.
sometimes I not find to someone to share what I'm thinking. That makes me also stressful.
Right.
Yes. So that impacts on me like in this manner that I was crying is a very natural response of that result. I lose my mental peace,
Mm.
angriness, not interested to talk anyone, keeping just quiet and sleeping. It's impact my health also, such as headache,
Yeah.
not sleeping the whole night, palpitation, the
Right.
common reaction of my face also.
Uh-huh.
Out of this, when I was remembered
Mm.
that where there is will, there is way.
Right.
I remembered that time I was remembered that the most stressful time when I was faced, and I compared that time with the present time.
Right.
And I again motivated, I again restart my work, and that time I was take a short break,
Mm.
eat good food which make my mood out of this.
Hmm.
Then try to find out some solution of it,
Right.
or start doing smart work
Right.
on that area.
Mm-hmm.
Improving myself slowly, very calmly.
Right.
Because I feel that there is no gain without any pain.
Right.
So I want to say to everyone,
Yeah.
be calm,
Hmm.
be continuous,
Hmm.
eat healthy, drink plenty full of water, and just remember one line: there is will, there is a way.
Wonderful.
And I will take your intrinsic motivation, just go to your goals. All this will be very helpful with coping with your stress.
All right. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rubina, for sharing your personal story in such a detailed way. I think that needs a lot of courage because what you are coping with and how you're dealing your stress is commendable because you say that when you wake up.
Stressful things I didn't tell you. The most stressful of things of in my life
Yeah.
now, how to publish a paper.
Oh my God. It'll happen for you, don't worry.
The rejection period. One paper is 5 times they have rejected. Now
Oh.
again 6 times I am working on it. This is
Giving you a lot of stress to you. Yeah, I understand.
horrible.
True, true, true. No, I understand. As a researcher, you are really stressed out because you have to respond to a lot of things across. And as the others might now know that Rubina is a researcher, and when you are someone who wants to pursue your PhD in the span of these 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 years, however long you would want to extend it, you have to publish two.
Oh, sir, we have to complete within 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
5 to 6 years.
Yeah, so if
This is my first year is going on.
Right.
Everyone moving like this, and I'm going like this, like a turtle, and everyone going forward.
I know. So yeah, she wants to wrap it up in the span of 3 years, and during that span, you not only have to write your PhD thesis, but at the same time, you have to get published yourself. As in, two papers have to be published in Scopus indexed journals, which is of high reputation. And for that, as she mentioned, she writes to them, they reject her by sending some suggestions. She incorporates them, she sends back, they reject. So, that's so stressful. I mean, how can you, as a person, we cannot be stressed out? Absolutely, we'll be because we have to work again and again and again, and still we meet failures. So that's true. But I think what you beautifully say, Rubina, is that where there's a will, there's a way. And your intrinsic motivation has to be kept alive. You don't have to, just let it go off. If that is the situation, then no one can stop us from failing. So that's true that the internal force, the intrinsic motivation is the one that we can latch on to, and that's the only hope that we have to move forward in our life. Uh, so, yeah.
One more thing I want to add, that practice the gratitude.
Gratitude. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes I thank to that situation, stressful situation. Because of that, I will give myself my better version.
True. I think that's very beautifully said. So you have to have a lot of gratitude. You have to thank people. You have to tell them that it's because of them that you are able to do certain things. And you're thankful to them. You're grateful to them for their kindness, for their generosity, for their presence, and for the kind words perhaps they said to you some time back, and that still resonates to you in your present life. I think that way it does make a lot of sense to our existence, and that brings a better version of yourself every day. That's true, Ravina.
This is the positive impact of the stress in your life, that you will be encouraged to do the work.
True.
And be continuous with that work.
Absolutely, absolutely. The consistency comes from our failures, from the times that were dark for us, were difficult for us, and they are actually there to push us in the further course of action. That's
Yes.
true.
To
True.
reach our goals.
To reach our goals, absolutely. But we are really worried when you talk about these things, that when I wake up, I'm stressed. When I go to bed, I'm stressed. In the entirety of the day, I'm stressed, and even now, I'm stressed. So this is something that is worrisome, that's bothersome for us as well. We really hope that the way you say it very nicely, Rubina, that there are coping strategies and you are practicing them. So somewhere, are you able to manage your stress now, or is it still in that bad situation, or you?
I took the stress that it's a my part of my life. it cannot be go away from me.
Okay. It cannot be sent away.
Yes, because I put aside my personal life in this doing up my academic life.
Right.
But when it's incorporated both,
Yeah.
it will be very stressful. So I think that it's my part of life.
Right.
I have to go with all these things, but I have to keep continue my work.
Right. But you have to take care of your health as well, isn't it? Your mental health, your physical
Yes,
health.
that's why I'm going for exercise
True.
every day, drink water,
Okay.
eat the vegetables more.
Right.
Because I have to feed first, then I have to go for work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you cannot be
Otherwise,
unwell.
I cannot do anything.
True. 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 Absolutely. But we wish that, you know,
Because health is wealth.
health is wealth indeed. When you are healthy, you are indeed wealthy, and we at time we overlook that aspect that the financial wealth is like our health, but indeed it's our physical health and our physical well-being, our mental well-being that is in our real sense the true wealth. That's true. Any questions for Rubina? Anyone? Anyone who'd like to share something with her or something as a suggestion? Anyone? Any questions? Nothing? No?
Anna.
Anna, do you have any question for her? No, you have already you have already made us travel with you in your journey. So we are feeling that you're already stressed out. We won't stress you furthermore with our questions. So anyway, so that was great to listen from all of you how you see stress, how stress sees you, and how you actually deal with it. So that's very important. And it's true that in our life, it is something that is the way we started with Rajeshwari and the way we are finishing it up with Rubina, that it is something inevitable. You cannot have it removed from your life completely. But how do you manage it? How do you cope with it? That's more important. And that's how we move ahead in our life. And as what Rubina rightly says, where there's a will, there's a way. So I wish you all that please keep yourself in the state of good well-being, the best well-being that you can create for yourself and the people around you. So strike a conversation with them, talk to them, exchange ideas with them. The way you have said, eat well, drink plenty of water, do physical exercises, and delve into meditation as well, and watch videos which give you a lot of confidence and motivation. I think that's how we develop our personality, and we push away the stress the more we can. And of course, learning English can only benefit you when you are not stressed out. So I hope these classes don't give you any kind of stress, but they do help you and they do motivate you to move ahead in your life. And of course, when you exhibit yourself in a better way, in a more pronounced way, in a more efficient way, that would really help you to foster more links at national and international level. That's what I look forward to from all of you. And with that, we have come to the end of our today's session. But before we wrap up the session, I would like to request you all that lead a life which is stress-free and is happy. And we have one more week to go. The coming week is the last week for us to have our English sessions. So on the weekend, what you are supposed to do, you don't have to take any stress, but you have to run through everything that we have seen this far. So on Monday, when we catch up, not only with a new topic, but also everything that we have seen this far, if at all you have any questions, your queries, your problems, your doubts, you can ask me those in that class or in the days to come. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me those questions on Monday. And with that, I'm signing off. I wish you all a great evening. Take care of yourself and let the stress be out of your life. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice
Yeah,
evening,
you
sir.
too. Thank you so much. Take care.
Everyone.
Everyone, take care.
Thank you, Rubina.
Thank you, everyone.